Let me ask you something. Have you ever worked a job that no one wanted after you? I mean, nobody. That's not a figure of speech. I'm talking about positions in the United States Postal Service that were posted nationwide and literally got 0 applicants. Not one. In fact, in 2023, over 58% of entry-level USPS jobs went completely ignored. Left out there like an old letter with a bad address. You see, for those of us who've been carrying the load, the rain, snow, heat, holidays, Sundays, that hits different because back in the day, the post office was the job. A career you could be proud of. People lined up around the block just to take the postal exam. Now, you post 10 jobs and maybe one person even looks at it. In this video, we're going to talk about why the USPS, one of the most historic institutions in the country, is struggling to attract applicants. What that means for those of us still working or retired, and why the powers that be better wake up before we lose this thing altogether. Let's get the numbers. From 2021 to 2023, USPS put out over 700,000 entry-level pre-career jobs. You know, the ones, the CCA, RCA, mail handler assistants. These jobs are the pipeline. They're supposed to feed the workforce, but over half of those postings, straight crickets, nobody. In places like Wisconsin and Minnesota, North Dakota, the problem is even worse. In those districts, up to 87% of RCA jobs had 0 applicants. That's not underqualified applicants. That's nobody even bothered to apply. And listen, I get it. These jobs aren't the glamorous jobs. These are the boots on the ground, lift and sweat, 10-hour shift positions that keep the wheels turning. But the fact that nobody wants to do them anymore should scare every one of us, because if nobody's coming in, who's replacing us? Some of y'all remember back in the 80s and 90s, a government job, especially at the USPS, was gold. It was stable, it had benefits, it had structure, it was all in the movies. You took the postal exam, the drug test, you waited on a list, you felt proud if you were chosen. But starting around 2008, things began to shift. The Postal Service started creating more non-career roles, cutting back on pay, trimming benefits, and turning the job into something starting off less secure. Now they expect these RCAs and CCAs to do career level work for non-career pay. And folks ain't buying that. Why would a young person work 6 days a week in the heat on Sundays for Amazon packages with no guarantee of promotion or healthcare, especially when they could get a warehouse job with AC and clock out after 8 hours? Or do DoorDash or Lyft or Shift. It's no wonder we've got 59% turnover in pre-career positions. People come in, they see the chaos, and they bounce. That number was 40% just a few years ago. Now it's climbing fast. Here's the part nobody wants to talk about out loud though. The system is just breaking. The Postal Service can't sustain itself without people coming in the door. And it's not just about mail volume anymore, really, because yeah, first class mail is down, but parcels are up, and we're doing more than ever with less people. If you're still on the job though, I know you understand. You're being stretched thinner, your routes are heavier, your relief doesn't show up, the truck is late. That's the new normal. And for my retirees out there, you're watching a career you gave decades to start to unravel in real time. And let's not forget, most of us don't even know that no one is applying. So management keeps their power. You're lucky to have this job, right? That's the trap. Meanwhile, most of us are also doing DoorDash on the side and even YouTube. So who's to blame? The economy? Sure. Low unemployment makes hiring competitive, but that's not the full story. The structure of these jobs was intentionally changed. There were deliberate decisions to prioritize short-term savings over long-term sustainability. Instead of offering real paths to career employment, USPS leaned into temporary, grinded out positions that burn people up and throw them away. Unless you take all the punches and go regular. The unions pushed back, but not hard enough. Congress ignored it. And now the result is, well, not enough help. The people in charge know the numbers. They see the vacancies. They see the rural areas completely uncovered. But they keep doing the same thing, hoping for a different result. That's insanity. But in the meantime, we, the ones who care about this work, are the ones paying for it. So, what's the solution? First off, respect the workforce. That means trucks that work and have air conditioning, at least. That's how you attract talent. That's how you build longevity. Because people hearing what we're saying out there and they don't want to deal with that. Second, fix the pipeline. If you want people to commit, give them a future. Right now, young people see USPS as a quick hustle job, not a career. You come in, grind as hard as you can, rack up some money, and then put that money towards a monetized hobby. And that perception won't change until the job itself changes. Third, we need to speak up. If you're in the system, career or pre-career, you need to tell your story. Don't let them sanitize it. We have our own mouths and we have our own platforms. Don't let them pretend like the staffing crisis is some mystery. It's not. It's the result of years of decisions that prioritize cost over people. And here's the truth that you won't see on a commercial. The USPS doesn't have a hiring problem. It has a retention problem. And I'm sure many of you can agree. Until the system changes, you and I will keep carrying the weight for a machine that forgot who keeps it running. What are your thoughts? If you're a carrier who stayed despite the chaos or a retiree who's watching the decline in disbelief, then I want you to do one thing for me. Like this video, drop a comment below and tell your story. What have you been through? What have you seen? I've only been here for 10 years. So I know some of you guys, you've commented and said 16, 23 years. Like, I want to hear it, man. But here, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I don't spin. And shout out to the ones still showing up, the ones who still care about the USPS. I'll see y'all next time.